Delusion 101. Well, you all remember this, don't you? Because somehow, at the height of the championship battle, both McLaren cars got disqualified at the 2025 Las Vegas GP. Now, I still don't understand how McLaren risked it all for, I don't know. They were like so much ahead of what they needed to be and they still managed to do this. Although, to be fair, depending upon when you're watching this, either one of these two might have already won the Drivers' Championship. I'm discounting Oscar out right now. You'll understand a bit later why. Anyways, let's get to the point. You see, after the whole fiasco, what was a 42-point gap at that point became a 24-point gap. And as you can see, that's less than one race win. Well, before the disqualification, what seemed like an impossible task for Max is, well, not that impossible anymore. But you have to imagine well back. Like, think about how it all started. Well, how it all seemed to end before it started. He was 104 points behind at the Dutch GP. It was also a pretty big task for Lando Norris at that point. But to be fair, both of them managed to do an insane recovery. In the case of Max Verstappen, it's now 0 points to Piastri, but Lando Norris managed to up his ante a bit and he managed to get ahead of Piastri. But now all three of them are just within 24 points of each other. Now, if you think about it, from the Dutch GP to now, somehow all this ended up working well for Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in a way. Now, that's what I call delusional manifestation. So how does this work? Well, first you've got to believe. If you believe really hard, stuff will happen. I did write another word there, but I'm not sure if I can say that right now. But you know what, for now we're going to just use the word stuff. Anyways, my point is just believe really hard and stuff will happen. But here's the thing. You need other people to believe in you as well, which is what I call support. If a lot of people want you to win, you will win. It's just as simple as that. But you have got to give it your all. You just gotta never give up. And until you know you definitely didn't lose, you just gotta work hard, work together, which is where the support comes in. And just work. I have added a disclaimer right here, if you want to read that, because if you're following the story on from my pictures, you'll probably realize this is not exactly what I meant there, but now again, some people that's gone through a lot might ask this question. Why work? Because it doesn't always pay off, and in my case, it almost never did. But here's the thing, working hard all the time means at some point, it can help when you get lucky. As simple as that. Now, in the case of this championship, what Max needs is one more miracle. Basically a fast Mercedes or Oscar Piastri, so that Max finishes first, Piastri second, and Lando third, and that gives the point difference to help him win the championship by 1 point. Just about. Maybe P4 for Lando would be better. I don't think P3. Lando can still finish P3 and secure the championship. But that's like a level 3 delusion there, as you can see. For Lando to win, it's a little bit of less delusional prospect, because he just needs to finish ahead of Max, which he's done in previous rounds, like Brazil and Mexico. Not that big of a deal. But he does need better luck. Out of all three of them, he has the most retirements and disqualifications. Max has 2 less and Oscar has 1 less. Speaking of Oscar, he needs to be the fastest, and McLaren has to let him race, I guess. If he is the fastest. Which means Max has to be P2 and Lando P3. Because they might swap Lando around, especially when Oscar can't win it anymore. You see what I mean there? Something like that. Something can happen, you never know. But that is Delusion level 4. Now, my guess is you're watching this after everything has played through, so in which case you can tell me who won down below. At the end of the day though, all this could just be an elaborate scheme by the F1 management to get more views for the final races. So they just somehow found a plank where and somehow just disqualified them. At the exact point when the championship really matters. Again, that's a different kind of delusion though. Level 100 to be fact. In fact, that's for a future lesson. discuss about more extreme delusions. So you know what to do.